yourselves. Welcome to the prayers on Kali Puja Day. As many of you know, at Auromira Centre, we are blessed to have the Mother's Chair. For the past 3 years, we have been adorning it on Durgashtami, Vijayadashmi, Sharad Purnima, Diwali, and Saraswati Puja days to invoke the Mother's presence and descent of her force in her four forms, namely Maheshwari, Mahalakshmi, Mahakali, and Mahasaraswati. The central circle of the mother's symbol represents divine consciousness, and the four petals represent her four powers in the four Devi forms. The outer 12 petals represent the 12 powers of the mother manifested for her work. Kali Puja is to invoke her Mahakali form, to pray to her to instill in us the courage to purify the lower nature so as to progress our sadhana and to intensify our aspiration and receptivity to perfect the truth. With Kali Puja, we surrender ourselves to the Mother and pray to her to bring out the psychic in front to establish a true relation and union with the Mother.
Kali Puja is a festival originating from India, dedicated to goddess Kali, celebrated on the new moon day, Amavasya, of the Hindu month Kartik. The practice of Kali Puja is not very ancient. In the 19th century, it gained a lot of popularity in Bengal with Ramakrishna Paramahansa's Kali worship. It coincides with the Lakshmi Puja day of Diwali. While the Hindu Bengalis, Odias, Assamese, and Maitlis worship the goddess Kali on this day, the rest of India and Nepal worships goddess Lakshmi on Diwali. Every year on Kali Puja day, the mother used to come down to the meditation hall wearing a red Banarasi sari embroidered with flowers in zari, golden thread. There would be red hibiscus flowers everywhere, for the red hibiscus is the flower of Mahakali. On Kali Puja, this flower is offered at the mother's feet. The spiritual significance of this flower given by the mother is power. She gave everyone flowers as blessings. Inside the small envelope, there were dried petals of the pomegranate flower, divine's love. The mother used to shower this divine love on the devotees on this special day. On this special day, the mother used to bring down Mahakali. Mahakali was seated within the mother.
Kali Puja message 1959. We who have a common uplifting ideal shall unite. And in this union, and by this union, we will face and overcome the attacks of all opposing forces of darkness and devastation. In union is the strength. In union is the power. In union, the certitude of victory. Mother Kali will be with you on this day. Next reading is from the book The Mother by Sri Aurobindo. Mahakali is of another nature, not of whiteness but of height, not wisdom but force and strength are her peculiar power. There is in her an overwhelming intensity, a mighty passion of force to achieve, a divine violence rushing to shatter every limit and obstacle. All her divinity lives out in a splendor of tempestuous action. She is there for swiftness, for the immediately effective process, the rapid and direct stroke, the frontal assault that carries everything before it. Terrible is her face to the Asura, dangerous and ruthless her mood against the haters of the divine. For she is the warrior of the world who never shrinks from the battle. Intolerant of imperfection, she deals roughly with all in man that is unwilling, and she is severe to all that is obstinately ignorant and obscure. Her wrath is immediate and dire against treachery and falsehood and malignity. Ill will is smitten at once by her sword. Indifference, negligence, and sloth in the divine work she cannot bear, and she smites away at once with sharp pain. If need be, the untimely summerer and the loiterer. The impulses that are swift and straight and frank, the movements that are unresolved and absolute, the aspirations that mounts in flame are the motion of Mahakali. The spirit is stainless. Her vision and will are high and far-reaching, like the flight of an eagle. Her feet are rapid on the upward way, and her hands are outstretched to strike and to succor.
For she too is the mother, and her love is as intense as a rock, and she has a deep and passionate kindness. When she is allowed to intervene in her strength, then in one moment are broken like things without consistence, the obstacles that immobilize for the enemies that assail the seeker. If her anger is dreadful to the hostile, and the vehemence of her pressure painful to the weak and timid, she is loved and worshipped by the great, the strong, and the noble, for they feel that her glows deep, which is rebellious in her material into strength and perfect truth. Hammer straight what is right, and perverse and expel what is impure and defective. But for her, what is done in a day might have taken centuries. Without her, Ananda might be wide, grave, or soft, and sweet, and beautiful, but would lose the flaming joy of its most absolute intensity. To knowledge she gives a conquering mind, brings to beauty and harmony a high and mounting movement, and imparts the slow and difficult labor after perfection, the impetus that multiplies the power and shortens the long way. Nothing can satisfy her that falls short of the supreme ecstasy, the highest heights, the noblest aims, the largest vistas. Therefore, with her is the victorious force of the divine, and it is by grace of her fire and passion and speed if great achievement can be done now than hereafter.
खर्गमुण्डाभिरामा काली तारा महाविद्या षोडशी भुवनेश्वरी भैरवी छिन्नमस्ता च विद्या भूमावती तथा वगला सिद्धविद्या च मातङ्गी कमलात्मिका एतादश महाविद्याः सिद्धविद्याः प्रकीर्तिता एतादश महाविद्याः सिद्धविद्याः प्रकीर्तिता
अहम रुद्राय धनुरातुदोमि ब्रह्मद्विषे शरवे हन्तवा अहम जनाय समदमकृणोमि अहम द्यावा पृथिव्या विदेश अहम सुवे पितरमस्य मूर्धं मम योनिरस्वन्तः समुद्रे ततो वितिष्ठे भुवनानुविशो तामुमग्रामवर्ष्मणोपस्पृशामि अहमेव मात्रैव प्रवामि आरभ्यमाना भुवनानि विश्वा परो दिवा परेणा पृथिव्यः तावती महिना सन्नभूव
Aspard the harmony of her puissant voice. O Savitri, I am thy secret soul. I am Durga, goddess of the proud and strong, and Lakshmi, Queen of the fair and fortunate. I wear the face of Kali when I kill. I trample the corpses of the demon horde. I shall hear the silver swing of heaven's gate when the God comes out to meet the soul of the world.
A prayer of Sri Aurobindo from Essays Divine and Human in the chapter Jnana. Be wide in me, O Varuna. Be mighty in me, O Indra. O sun, be very bright and luminous. O moon, be full of charm and sweetness. Be fierce and terrible, O Rudra. Be impetuous and swift, O Marutas. Be strong and bold, O Aryama. Be voluptuous and pleasurable, O Bhaga. Be tender and kind and loving and passionate, O Mitra. Be bright and revealing, O dawn. O night, be solemn and pregnant. O life, be full, ready, and buoyant. O death, lead my steps from mansion to mansion. Harmonize all this, O Brahmanaspati. Let me not be subject to these gods, O Kali.
The mother's comment on the prayer. So Sri Aurobindo makes Kali the great liberating power who ardently impels you towards progress and leaves no ties within you which would hinder you from progressing. I think this will be a good subject for meditation.
Why does Sri Aurobindo give more importance to Kali?
The mother's response. It is good and necessary to possess all the divine qualities that these gods represent and symbolize. That is why Sri Aurobindo invokes them and asks them to take possession of his nature. But for one who wants union with the Supreme, for one who aspires for the supreme realization, this cannot be sufficient. This is why, at the end, he calls upon Kali to give him the power to go beyond them all. For Kali is the most powerful aspect of the Universal Mother, and her power is greater than that of all the gods in her creation. To unite with her means therefore become more vast, more complete, more powerful than all the gods together. And that is why Sri Aurobindo places union with her above and beyond all the others.
The working of Kali, words of the mother. Behind all destructions, whether the immense destructions of nature, earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, cyclones, floods, etc., of the violent human destructions, wars, revolutions, revolts, I find the power of Kali, who is working in the earth atmosphere to hasten the progress of transformation. All that is not only divine in essence, but also divine in realization, is by its very nature above these destructions and cannot be touched by them. Thus, the extent of the disaster gives the measure of the imperfection. The true way of preventing the repetition of these destructions is to learn their lesion and make the necessary progress. There is no question of welcoming destruction, but of learning the lesion it gives. It is for mercy and grace that one must ask, not for power and justice, because if Kali is manifested, what and who would remain standing? Insincerity seems to be an incurable defect, which nullifies the working of the grace in being. It is certainly insincerity which has necessitated the violent intervention of Kali in the world.
Krishna and Mahakali. Sri Aurobindo's aphorisms and the mother's comment. The combination of Krishna and Mahakali is one that has great power in this yoga. And if names rise together in your consciousness, it's a good sign. Who can bear Kali rushing into the system with its fierce force and burning Godhead? Only the man whom Krishna only possesses.
Mother's comment. This is a charming and most expressive way of saying that only the conscious divine presence is capable of mastering and conquering all violence. I did not know for some time whether I loved Krishna best or Kali. When I loved Kali, it was loving myself. But when I loved Krishna, I loved another. And still it was myself with whom I was in love. Therefore, I came to love Krishna better even than Kali.
Kali is Krishna, revealed as dreadful power and wrathful love. She slays with her furious blows the self-embodied, life, mind, in order to liberate it as spirit eternal.
Mother's comment. Shall we complain when we see this helpless little ego disappearing and giving way to a luminous spark capable of understanding the universe?
Canst thou see God in thy torturer and slayer, even in thy moment of death or thy hours of torture? Canst thou see him in that which thou art slaying, see and love even while thou slayest? Thou hast thy hand on the supreme knowledge. How shall he attain to Krishna who has never worshipped Kali? When will the world change into the model of heaven? When all mankind becomes boys and girls together with God, revealed as Krishna and Kali, the happiest boy and the strongest girl of the crowd, playing in the gardens of paradise. The Semitic Eden was well enough, but Adam and Eve were too grown up, and it's God himself too old and stern and solemn, the offer of the serpent to be resisted.
The cosmic dance, dance of Krishna, dance of Kali. Two measures are there of the cosmic dance. Always we hear the tread of Kali's feet, measuring in rhythms of pain and grief, life's game of hazard terrible and sweet. The ordeal of the birth initiate, the hero soul and play with death's embrace. Wrestler in the dread gymnasium of fate, sacrifice a lonely path to grace. Men's sorrows made a key to the mysteries, truth's narrow road out of time's waste of dream. The soul's 7 doors from matter's tomb to rise are the common motives of a tragic theme. But when shall Krishna's dance through nature move, his mask of sweetness, laughter, rapture, love? Jai Ram.
Jai Mama Kali.
नतस्तस्यै नमो नमः नमो जगत्प्रतिष्ठायै देव्यै शृणुमायेति शब्दता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः या देवी सर्वभूतेषु चेतनेत्यभिधीयते नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः नमोस्तस्यै नमस्तस्यै नमस्तस्यै नमो नमः नमोस्तस्यै नमस्तस्यै नमस्तस्यै नमो नमः या देवी सर्वभूतेषु बुद्धिरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः या देवी सर्वभूतेषु छायारूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः या देवी सर्वभूतेषु शक्तिरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः या देवी सर्वभूतेषु मातृरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः
Flame pure, I see in your time, a mighty face appeared, and lips moved by the mortal word.